Now the elixir. There was this nerdy girl in my geography class. I didn't try to shag her. I'm sure the vagina was hairy though. Oh! You think it was a fire crotch? Could have been a fire crotch. So I was joking around. I said, "Oh, I'm gonna make myself a Titanic." And she went, "Ah," and then she sent me an email one day, and she goes, "Here's your Titanic," and it was like a Titanic drink, based on the Titanic. And then I replied, "I want to see your tit tonnets." Ha ha ha. No, I didn't. Just kidding. She wasn't real. She didn't have no big titties. She had regular titties, I guess. Or whatever. Normal titties. Yeah. Normal tits. Regular sized or whatever. So then this guy's at Tomball's college, you know. I took basketball. And some guys were saying, "Why are you taking basketball? That doesn't make you rich." I said, "Well, I don't do everything because it makes sense, you guys. Sometimes I do things that I want to do." So I took basketball that season. I don't always do things that make sense, like in a particular logical pattern or something like that. That just sounds boring. Anyways, so what do you do at taking basketball? And then, my friend Robbie, he invited his friend, and then he invited this girl. And it's like, "Hey, this is our friend, Jenny or whatever." Man, she had these big fucking amazing tits. I was like, "Whoa, my God. You're not just friends with this girl, right? Come on. Give me a fucking break." We went to the Tomball B-dubs. "Here's my friend, Jenny." And I was like, boing. I was like, "Oh, shit." Man, she has some... Well, yeah, I guess, at Tom's Balls in Tomball, Texas, Tomball College, they had a few girls that had some big-ass tits. Yeah. They got some big knocker girls that go there, man, for sure. No, it's not. It's not fat bottom girls that makes the world go round. Big titty girls is what the... Do they have a song? I guess Frank Zappa, Titties and Beer. Do they have a song like Big Ass Tit Girls? Oh, fuck yeah. Or something. Don't have a song like that. It's just fat bottom girls. Okay. Titties and Beer. They'll have big ass tits is what I fucking love. Or something. Okay. Girls with big ass knockers. Yeah, I feel like sorry for the people trying to date today, because like so many fake AI profiles. Because before it was spam. People just doctoring stuff, they had to put a little effort into it. Now they just go into an AI and the whatever version they can afford, and they just put, "Draw a picture of pretty girl," and it goes boop, 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 boop. And then they put it on their dating profile. "Here's pretty girl." Now AI kind of still looks fake at this point, but we know we can still tell the difference. Sometimes, mostly. But we know that there's a day that's coming in which we maybe cannot, the technology will be so advanced that we can't tell the difference between real life and artificial intelligence created art and videos and pictures. So. Big titty girls will make the rockin' world go round. Big ass knockers. Only if Queen had gotten around to make it a big titty song, I think. If only. But Queen did us right with Fat Bottom Girls. Yeah. Oh, gonna take me home tonight. Oh, by the big red firelight. Or whatever. Oh. Yeah, that was great when me and my friends used to go out, in the younger days, like in the 20s, and go to the karaoke bar and all that. And then so Mike Willard went out there, and back then he had like an afro, like long hair, dreadlocks or whatever. Not dreadlocks. It was like, I guess he had an afro. I guess that's what it was. Had really long afro hair, and there. Oh, won't you take me home tonight? Oh, beside the red firelight. Oh, you let it all hang out. Fat bottom girls, you make the rockin' world go round. And I was like, oh, yes, he did it. Thank God. There was somebody out there. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to rock the karaoke mic. Okay, we gotta head out like pronto. Yeah. Okay. Get our lottery tickets, get our beer. We're gonna get a Mega Millions for tonight. Yeah, I have a plan. It's $202 million. We need that. What would we do with that? We'd write a song about big titties. Yeah.
One night, Jim went to bed, Scott's in his room, and I went out to the top deck, and I was having some wine, and guess what I saw? A naked teenage guy, probably about 18 to 21, naked on top of the clubhouse roof.
I think it's before. Yeah, 930. Yeah. Hey, how's it going?
That's $12.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Have a good night, sir. It's a nice night out there. So feels good. Windy was. That big ass Hispanic dude, he looked like the bad guy from Double Dragon. You know, the guy who's like big and bald and they're fucking like ripped. I don't know if you guys ever played Double Dragon, but maybe not. But in Double Dragon, they have these big ass fucking dudes that are bald and they kind of look like Juggernaut. I don't know what's going on at the preschool. What if it was like people robbing it or something? Like Jack in the preschool. I don't know if they keep money in there. Yeah, I never thought about it a lot. I know they keep money in bars and restaurants when they shut down in a safe, but I don't know if they keep money in there. Does look like something unusual afoot at the preschool. Strange things afoot at the preschool instead of the Circle K with Bill and Ted. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. There are strange things afoot at the Circle K. That's all. That's like an underrated line. I always thought that was so clever.
I know you are. Or mom. Okay, love y'all. All right. Wow. Oh, wow.
Huh.
And when is that? Oh, okay.
Winner, winner. Ooh, can I come back and say?
Amen. I pay something. Oh, Lord. No. Okay. Oh, wow. It better be, what is it? Automatic? Not automatic, you know, remote control. Oh, are you serious? I know, I know. Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't know you got, wow, I didn't know you got that. Huh. Okay, all right. Oh, he likes to do it yourself. Yeah, because if you get the, remote control and everything, something's gonna happen probably, and break down. Right. That's true, that's true. And if you lose power.
Yeah. Taco beer. Okay, so we saved our Taco Bell cup. We chilled it to create the taco beer. Taco beer. When we have the taco beer, uh,
Sorry, dear.
oh, it's all right.
I was talking to Aunt Julie and
Oh,
Granny.
oh wow, Aunt Julie Andler.
And Granny.
Oh, and Granny. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
Julie went there yesterday, gave her a
Thank you.
shower,
Yeah.
and they went to Hot Springs today, and they bought, don't say anything, but before they mom bought Dan a new recliner because it's broken.
Oh, really?
And,
Oh, wow.
tomorrow the plumber's coming, so cleaning in the kitchen.
Oh, the plumber's going to their place?
To Julie, to
Oh.
Mom and Dan's.
Oh, wow.
Julie's staying there till Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And yesterday, here it is.
What was it? Oh, yeah, you got the.
Oh, anyway,
I just put those extra things in.
uh,
Yeah, it's extra. It's extra sizes and stuff. Just for the variety. Oh, okay, so the plumber's. Oh, thanks, Mom.
but anyways, yeah, I don't know if you know it, but when I went there in my auto panel for 2 days, when I got there, they said that the dishwasher was leaking, very, it was so big. Well, anyway, I got over the sink and we pulled everything out of the sink, but it was leaking from the dishwasher. Anyway, I got up under there after I dried, got my fan, and I cleaned. We got all set out. I'm the one who reached up to the, they have a separate top for the cold and the hot water or something. And the only thing I detected was water was leaking from the flex hose from the cold water. And it was leaking all the bottom of the sink and everything else. Well, I tightened it up and it was only good for a couple of weeks. Then Larry came back and Julie helped and Dan helped because Larry couldn't get under the sink because of the heat replacement. And then, of course, when Larry goes, he can't find no leaks either. And he even pulled the dishwasher out and rechecked the hoses that all went under the sink and everything.
So that good, Mom.
So now Julie said, oh, it only leaks when I'm not here. So now it leaked a big old spot again and they think it's not the dishwasher, they think it's something else. Maybe it's it could be the plumbing just backing up, the pipes that go.
Yeah.
Cause they do have, what is it? Septic tank.
Oh, okay. Septic tank.
Stuff filled back up.
Yeah. Okay. Back that ass up, dog. Oh yeah. They have a song called Back That Ass Up? I don't think they do. No, yes they do. They have a song called Back That Ass Up. Back that ass up. So we created the taco beer tonight from the Taco Bell cup. So in the Taco Bell cup, it becomes taco beer. At that point, we solved the problem. Taco beer. Taco beer. Ooh. You really want to do it key of... I'm going to do it key of G because I'm a G. Did your buzz kick in? I think so. It's like when Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick wants to ban the THC. Yeah. So, but first you have to. But first you have to define what a drug is. First you have to define what a drug is. Yeah, so to ban a drug, on what grounds do you ban the drug? Why? Well, they tried to ban alcohol. Why was that a bad prohibition? Why was that a bad amendment, the prohibition of alcohol? Because humans had been consuming alcohol since they invented it for thousands and thousands of years. And for a new country to come along and say, you know what, even though humans have enjoyed alcohol for thousands and thousands of years, we're going to fucking prohibit it because bad behavior. How presumptuous of us. The Egyptians had beer. The Sumerians invented beer. Jesus drank wine. The Jews. Yeah, a lot of primitive peoples, they made their own alcohol. Their own fermented grapes, barley, hops, wheat. Well, they call that Incan beer, that Peruvian beer, they call it chi or some shit like that. Like tit, like chi-chis. Ooh. It's even theorized that the ancient Egyptians built the pyramids because they're paid, that they weren't paid in money or coins, that they're paid in beer. As the old legend goes. Now, I understand the harmful effects of alcohol. I understand alcoholism. I understand, all that stuff. I understand, like, the consequences. You can lose jobs, lose friends, crash your car, get fucked up, get into a bar fight, get shot, get stabbed, get wrecked. Yep. All of this is true. All of this is true, definitely. But so after many violent, bloody struggles, they repealed prohibition of alcohol and restored alcohol back in the early 20th century after the disastrous rise of gangsters and bloodshed, Al Capone and Lucky Luciano. And so gangsters just fill the void. If you prohibit drugs or prohibit alcohol, you're just going to have a bunch of people out there doing it illegally because people are going to demand that they have their alcohol. It's said that the drug cartel trade from American citizens, from the Mexican drug cartels, they make more billions of dollars than Disney, the entertainment corporation. So apparently, drugs are more fun than Disney World. Who would have thought? Oh, man. So everybody can drink now, but it's up to you. Only you can prevent forest fires like Smokey the Bear. Only you can drink responsibly. Drink responsibly. Be responsible. Be a responsible citizen. All right, there you go. So now it falls on the citizen to face their own problems and responsibilities. So, yeah. Do I think they'll ever try to prohibit alcohol again? I don't think they'll ever try something that stupid again. You know, politicians and mothers against drunk driving or mothers against alcohol or whatever the, progressive female society, usually females. Now, I really wouldn't believe men would get together and ban booze. Now that's hard to believe that a bunch of women would get together and try to ban booze. Now that's really believable. Or a bunch of, religious nuts or something like that. Progressives and religious nuts and females would try to ban alcohol, I think. Maybe. That's the only people I could foresee grouping up to do that, as they did in the early 20th century. But it was such a disaster, I doubt they'll try that again. They'll just accept that mankind has produced alcohol and enjoyed the enjoyment of alcohol for thousands of years, and thousands of years in the future, people will still drink something like alcohol. Maybe it'll be like Star Trek: The Next Generation, and they'll have stuff that tastes like it, maybe gives you a buzz, but you don't get fucked up, and you don't start, fucking fat bitches and fighting a nigger or two, like Samuel Jackson beer. It'll fuck you up. You might even fight a nigger or two. You'll be fucking fat bitches in no time. Yeah, that was a good skit. It was Samuel Jackson beer. A fucking shark ate me. Yeah, that's in the glory days of YouTube. That's the kind of content they made. Samuel Jackson beer with Dave Chappelle. I remember my stepdad was showing me the video, and I was laughing my head off. In the early days of YouTube, it was like 2007, the glory days, before the internet died. Yeah. Before Google Alphabet Corporation bought YouTube, it was really fun because it was like the wild, wild west of ideas. And so it was a very zany YouTube back then. Yeah, early YouTube was super fun. Not a lot of regulations. More creativity, less regulations. That was the glory days of YouTube. You might even find a nigger or two. Yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was a great skit. Was that from the Dave Chappelle show? Yeah, I don't think that was specifically. Yeah, that wasn't specifically created for YouTube. They didn't do that back then. What they did was they would take clips from the Dave Chappelle show or the Ali G show, and then they'd upload it, to YouTube, and that turned out to be one of the funniest skits. Samuel L. Jackson Beer. Yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. So the joke is, instead of Samuel Adams beer, it's Samuel L. Jackson beer, and then he quotes shit from his movies, and that's what makes it so funny, because he just quotes random stuff. So unless you've seen the movies, you'll probably be pretty lost. Yeah, that's from what is that? I hope that, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. It's been a while. That's an old movie. I've never actually seen that movie that he's referencing. I've never seen the one where a fucking shark ate me. I've never seen Deep Blue Sea, I think it's called. And I think, what was it called? A Time to Kill? Yeah, that's what it's called. So the one where it goes, yes, they deserve to die, and I hope they burn in hell. It's called A Time to Kill, because I saw the previews a lot for it. That's the part in that's like a racially charged movie. Like white people versus black people, slavery, and it's a really heavy movie, right? So it's a heavy ass movie. It has Matthew McConaughey, Sandra Bullock, and Samuel Jackson. Yeah. Yeah, working at the movie theaters, I was like, I thought, oh man, these chicks are having this party. Like when I was 19, my 19-year-old mind was like, oh, these chicks invited me to this party. All right, there's gonna be booze and there's gonna be chicks. I was like, all right, that sounds like a great Friday night. I got my Friday night. Look, chicks and drinks and music and whatever, movies, whatever we're doing. And I was like, my night is set, guys. Booyah. In my 19-year-old mind, I was thinking, this is gonna be great. And they had some nasty alcohol there. It was Blue Bombay gin. It looked like the shit from Star Trek. It looked like the Romulan ale shit. And but I was such an alcoholic even at 19. I was just like, whatever you have, I'm just drink it. Blue Bombay. I was like, ah. I don't even think I killed it with anything. It was just on ice or something. But so it was actually the gin buzz was like kind of like a Scotch buzz. It was like a happy buzz though. It was really fun. It wasn't like one of those things where you drink vodka, you drink hard liquor, and you get all crazy and stuff. You start acting wild. They have to call the police. No. That some of the alcohols, they don't make you act like that. Like in particular, Scotch and maybe gin doesn't get you, like into a violent or into a problematic kind of state or obnoxious state. It gets you into like a chill, like kind of happy buzz. There are alcohols that are more prone to cause less violence and cause more harmony. More joviality, more laughs and stuff like that. So, and more calm rationale. And I think gin. Plus, I was with my coworkers, so I didn't want to lose my job and have an incident that everybody was talking about. I didn't want to end up in handcuffs. So they decided, but it was a bunch of girls which I was happy about. And one girl was really pretty. You know, they had one girl was like, eh. But if you hang around a bunch of girls, there's always going to be like, okay, there's going to be like one ugly girl, and then there's going to be like maybe a few okay girls, and then there's going to be maybe there's like a few like you know, like hot girls, the girls you really want to get with, right? So you just deal with it. You deal with the collective nature of the female, so you can get to the good females, right? You just put up with it, and you put up with the bullshit so you can get to the good shit. Oh yeah, no, it was like coworkers. It was pretty cool, but yeah, it was kind of fun because it was like we worked at this 30-screen movie theater, and then it was down the freeway, and then this girl's house, or I'm sorry, apartment, since they were young, it was an apartment with these girls. I guess they all lived, all the girls together, like young women would live like in a dorm type situation, while they're working and going to college, or. And then, you know, we're drinking and stuff, and then I'm like, oh man, this Blue Bombay gin is nasty. And they were like, hey, and the girls are like, hey, let's watch a romance movie. And I was like, oh no. And they said, so they put on, they did it. They put it on. They put on Hope Floats with Sandra Bullock and Harry Connick Jr. And I sat through that shit. I mean, I'm not saying I was fucking simping out to try to get some pussy or something, but I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to watch this shit. But I was like, well, you know what? They have alcohol here. So I was like, you know what? I'll sit through Hope Floats. I never would have watched that, like, by myself. Like, on my own or with my friends. Yeah. It's like, it's one of those stories, you know, one of those rom-coms where it's like the girl moves to the small town and is lonely and falls in love with the cowboy and all that shit. And I was like, I want to gag. No. Okay, more gin, please. More gin. And then it was like, by the time the fucking party was over, it was like fucking 5 in the morning, 5 or 6 or something. I think I had to sleep there, otherwise I would have gotten arrested probably. Yeah, I think I had to sleep there. I think, yeah. I might have drove that bitch. I hope not, but I have driven from people's houses like 4 in the morning, but it's not recommended though. So the idea is THC. So it said Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, 75 years old, wants to ban tetrahydrocannabinol, the main active component in marijuana, in cannabis, and weed. The kind bud. That's the funniest one. The kind bud. The kind. Well, me and my friends Carl and Joe, back in the day, in Pasadena, Texas, we would have this argument. And I'd be like, well, you know, weed is all right. And then Carl would say, yeah. And then my religious friend Joe would go, it's bad, it's evil, the drugs, it's evil. And then Carl would piss off my religious friend, the Christian guy. He'd go, it's God's herb, man. He was trying to use the Bill Hicks argument, which was like, and on the 6th day, God was about to finish his work, and then he looked down upon the earth and said, my, oh my, why is there weed everywhere? Oh, I must have made a mistake. So he's using the God's herb, like God made a fucking mistake or fucked up or something. Okay, so that's the argument. It's a Bill Hicks argument. God messed up. Oh my, why did I put weed everywhere? Yeah. I like when he goes like, my, oh my, I put marijuana everywhere. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah. So Carl was trying to make Joe mad by saying it's God's herb, because he knew that Joe was a huge Christian and went to church all the time and all that stuff. So he's trying to irritate Joe, saying it's God's herb. God's herb. And I'm just in the middle. I'm just like, well, that's funny. God's herb. It's God's herb, man. I just wanted him to say God's herb, because that was the entertainment part of it. Just that phrase, God's herb. God's special herb. Yeah. Okay. So that's the pro and con marijuana argument. You could say it's not immoral, it's not evil marijuana. God put it everywhere, so it must be meant for use. Boom. How do I feel about that argument? Mixed reviews about it, but I think it's solid. Yeah, I don't think it's bogus. I think it's kind of legitimate, actually. So that's a point. It's definitely a point. So, but governments and people, not just religious people, have struggled with marijuana. Is it stupid? Is it wrong to smoke weed and then laugh at your refrigerator for 2 hours? Or laugh at a horse for 3 hours? Is it stupid? Yeah. I remember some girl was like, at my work, it was Deborah, right? Yeah, Debbie. Big ones, you know what I mean? Debbie had some brunette with some big tits. Yeah, big melons on that one. And she's like, oh, you boys smoking your weed. Oh, that's so stupid. Oh my God, Becky, look at her butt. It's so retarded. All right. Marijuana smoking is so fucking dumb. And so that's her opinion on that. That smoking weed is stupid. And girls really don't like. Except some hippie chick or something like that. But a lot of girls don't like that. Ganja, weed, kind bud, THC, and all that stuff. So, I think it's that Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is banning THC edibles, like gummies and cookies and edibles and treats, stuff like that. Medicinal dispensaries and things like that. Denying those that have anxiety or PTSD or trauma. Or, sometimes it could just be old age sucks. And some people at the nursing home want their weed and they want their adventures in THC, and maybe they can't have it now. And the businesses are pissed because they can't sell it. They can't develop it. And, it's a big quagmire, boondoggle, whatever. It's a big shit show, right? Maybe government has difficulty controlling things that grow because it's life, so you can grow it. It's not like something you have to. It's not like crystal meth that you have to develop. It's not like you're developing chemicals, synthetic opium. It's not like you have to be the Chinese communists and the drug cartels that get together and create weed. You don't. You don't have to be an engineer. You don't have to be Walter White from Breaking Bad. You don't. There's no effort. You don't need governmental effort to make marijuana. You might need Chinese communists. You might need drug cartels to create fentanyl and synthetic opiates, synthetic heroin. But you don't need fucking weed. All you need is the seed. The seed is all you need to make the weed, and the right growing conditions and the right light and the right water and all that. So maybe the government has difficulty controlling life. Reproducing itself, doing its thing, growing. What life is supposed to do. Plants are supposed to grow and to live and to plant and to create seeds that create more life. So maybe they have an issue. They can't tax it. They can't regulate it. It's life. It wants to grow. It wants to expand. That's what life wants to do, just naturally. You can't control it. You can't stop it. You can't regulate it. You can't create a bureaucracy around it. I mean, it's going to do what it wants to do. If you have a teenage daughter and, she wants to go out with a black dude or a Mexican dude, you can be irritated, but she's going to do whatever she wants to do. That's life, kind of just does what it wants to do. That's just, one example. But life is going to do whatever it wants to do, regardless. You can be angry. You can put rules in place. You can try to stop it. But, life is going to choose and do whatever it feels like. Well, ultimately. So, life will find a way. Life always evolves and finds a way out of tyranny and bureaucracy. It always will, hopefully, do that. Rebel against that sort of thing. So, rebel against control systems. Now, I don't know why Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and Greg Abbott don't want to profit from cannabis, if you will, or THC, THC products and gummies and cookies. And I don't really see a problem with it, as long as people, especially children, as long as the children are protected, as long as it has an age limit. An age like 18. I don't see it, as long as kids aren't doing it, right? But I guess their argument would be like, well, kids are going to find a way to do it. Yeah, that's the argument. So they want to take away social media from kids. Kids want to do social media so bad. Man, it's even, yeah. Kids want to get on social media so bad. It's like amazing. They want to get on all, YouTube, TikTok, Kick, Twitch, blah, blah, blah. And on. Rumble, whatever. Minds, Gab. I don't know how many there are. There's a fucking lot of it. So, Facebook, Meta platforms. Nobody really wants to get on Microsoft because Microsoft is shit. My theory is that Microsoft was stolen from IBM and Gary Kildall, and they haven't been able to really create anything new. So my idea why Microsoft is micro shit is because they're not really creative or innovative company. Bill Gates stole that operating system. He stole the Windows, and that's why he can't innovate. He just keeps repackaging the same fucking shit, and then as other companies become more technologically evolved, Microsoft finds it harder and harder to keep up. With the likes of Apple and Google and so on, Facebook, Meta platforms. Well, we'll just call it Meta, right? That's better. So they're calling it Meta Facebook. Twitter X. So here's the idea that social media was unhealthy for the growing brains of children. So